Yesterday, I was listening to this podcast with this lady, and she was married to this guy that they call the Mormon Madoff. His name is Sean. Of course, it's Sean. And Madoff was like a scammer. So basically, if someone says a blank Madoff, it just means like a scammer of some kind. So she was married to this guy, and he was running this investment business and like doing super well. And then he lost everything because it turns out he wasn't running an investment business. He was running a fraud business. And I decided to listen to the interview with her because I'm doing my stream about him, but most men can't really accurately describe themselves. So I was like, let me listen to what his wife had to say about him. And she divorced him because of the fraud. But let me tell you how bad he fucked her over. So not only was he like doing fraud in his business, he lost their children's college funds. It had been very important to her to pay off their family home. So they had a completely paid off house, lost that fucking shit too. And then he also lost her money that she had had from like her career, because he was so rich once they had kids, I think she kind of stopped working. But she had had her own money like in her name, but he was managing the investment. So he lost all of her money from her own career and her inheritance that she had gotten from her parents. And I was just listening to her talk about this, and I was like, I would literally never let that man have another moment of peace. Like, even when he was in prison, I would still be running him ragged and ruining his life, because she used to work in PR. So like, yeah, I would PR the fuck out of you derogatorily. Like, everyone would know your name, everyone would know what you had done. And I just really admire how like mature that she was about it, because on the podcast she was talking about, she was like, you know, I knew in my heart that I had to forgive him, not for him but for me and for my children. And she was talking about how when they were like waiting for him to be sentenced in the trial and all that stuff, because literally he just sat her down one day and said, I turned myself into the feds yesterday, we're about to lose everything. You didn't even want to tell me before so I could help you like strategize here. So anyway, she was talking about how when they were waiting for him to be like sentenced in the trial and all that, they still all lived in their family home together, and she would make him dinner every night so that their kids would still have a sense of normalcy. And I'm like, oh my God, you're so mature. I really just wouldn't do that. Like, I want to look in the mirror and be like, I would do that, but I know that I wouldn't. I know that literally he would like walk out into the kitchen and I would like spit in his face or like spit in his food and give it to him and be like, eat it. Like, I really admire her. And then she went on and like married someone else and has this great life and like all that stuff. And that's probably because she's so mature and has like a spirit of forgiveness within her. But I'm just not. I just don't think. I would be outside the jail and be like, this is what Sean did. Like, he would never be rid of me ever. Like, he would look behind his shoulder. There I would be every day without fail.